Most people think they're waiting for the right time. They're waiting for the bank account to hit a certain number, for the kids to get older, or for some sign from the universe that it's finally safe to go all in. But here's the bold truth, y'all. The right time isn't a ghost. It doesn't exist. While you're waiting for the stars to align, someone else is out there outworking you in the dark with half the resources and double the grit. Winning isn't about the destination of the arrival when everything is perfect. Winning is about the decision you make when things are messy. When you're tired and the odds are stacked against you, you've been playing it safe because you're afraid to lose. But by waiting, you've already lost the most valuable thing you have, which is time. Today, we're killing the waiting version, y'all. We're talking about the shift from consumer to producer, the mechanics of a winning mindset, and why being delusional about your success is actually the most logical move you can ever make. If you're ready to stop procrastinating and start dominating, drop down in the comments so we can go ahead and get this started, so we can start success and keep it going for not only ourselves, but our lineage after us. Let's go ahead and get started with this. So here's the thing, beautiful people. You spend so much time building a prison that you hate rather than using the inside talks that's been in the back of your mind to elevate. See, I'm going to give you an insight into what's going on with me. As a lot of you guys know, I'm a mom of 10 and wife. I've recently got several job opportunities. I have several certifications and skills that align with what I applied for. Therefore, I would not have applied to that position. So here's the thing. I went to a animal hospital recently and applied for a position. I got the interview. I was scheduled to come back again for an initial working interview. I did well, like I knew I would. But here's the thing. When I received the job offer, the pay was not aligned with what I expected, which was very disappointing because I do have the skill set for which I applied for and beyond. It may not be in the animal hospital side, but I do have the experience and necessary skills to be the best in that position as I possibly can. So again, I received the offer. The pay was not what I expected. I first declined it and it was sent back to me again the following day. I went over things again just to see if a couple things was changed. It wasn't. And I said, hey, you know what? I may just go ahead and give it a try. Even though it was a 12-hour shift, which took away from my time with my children. It worked around my husband's work schedule because I would go in from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So it kind of worked out fine for me. Overall, the pay was not, again, what I expected. So I've came to realization that upon small thing, I didn't even think a lot about this. I woke up with a different insight and said, if you decide to take this opportunity, I also have another interview today at another place for which I'm going just to get the feel of it, just to see if it's something that I would initiate in my routine, in my schedule, because I work around my kids' schedule. I work around what's convenient for my family. So if I did decide to take the 12-hour shift, it would provide stability. It would provide, the security that me knowing that I have this certain amount coming every 2 weeks to my bank account. Overall, it will not help me in the endeavors that I have for myself. It will take away the time that I have for my children because, again, working overnight, I have been immune to that. I have no problem with that. But I'm not gonna struggle while doing so. Even though my husband has a job, I'm not gonna pull away from my time with my children. That doesn't make sense for the time that's not around them. It does provide security, but the pay is not, it's not nowhere near the time and the love to pull me away from what I give my children at that time. Now here's the thing. A lot of times over the years I've gained the experience, I've got the certifications, I've utilized all these things, but overall, here's the thing. It takes away from what it is that I'm truly doing. A lot of times when you're thinking of the right job fit, the right career, I think people don't necessarily think about what it's taken away from. I think that they truly think about what it will possibly bring, not understanding what it will take away from you. So I've utilized my thoughts. See, a lot of times we get so comfortable with the security that the job or career brings, not understanding that what we already have outside of that brings so much more. The mindset, the natural skills, the ability to speak, the ability to listen, the ability to teach, the ability to mentor is so much greater than the pay of working for someone when you can actually work for yourself. That is the most important thing to think about. But it's also overlooked because everyone wants a chance to provide for their family. And a lot of these things that you naturally have doesn't come quick. You may know how to do hair. You may know how to sew. You may know how to mentor. You may know how to teach. You are maybe good at problem solving. You are good at a lot of these things, but you don't know how to incorporate that so that you can work for you, so that you don't have to clock into a job, so that you don't have to slave for nobody else behind the counter in no workhouse, in no, I was in my workhouse. Yeah, literally, their offices, in no warehouse, in no factory, none of these things. But see, this life was designed for you to struggle. This life was designed for you to learn things the hard way. Instead of actually being calm, letting God lead the way. It's hard to do that when your mind is racing with so many different things that's going on in the lives of others as well as yourself. How can you think of ways to do things when you're thinking of ways to make a living and making the ends meet? Of course you're gonna race to someone's job when it's not paying what you expect. Of course you're gonna settle for less because it gives you the security of knowing when that paycheck is gonna hit your account. Of course you're not gonna go elsewhere seeking because you are already somewhere that's allowing you to get by. We are no longer getting by. We are erasing that mindset and excelling in the manner that God sees fit. We are trusting God's timing. We know that we are where we should be. We know that through faith and consistency and through inner strength and inner peace, we will soon get to where we need to be. Stay focused, Maintain a positive mindset at all times. That's the most important thing that you can possibly do right now. I know that you may be going through a lot, but I ask that you keep your mind clear, your spirit clean, and your love as high as you possibly can. Stay focused on the task at hand to note that every day may bring an obstacle, but there is nothing greater than God. God is able to do all the wonderful things that He sees fit over your life. As long as you are taking the initiative to be the best that you can be, there's nothing that can stop you or stand in your way from being where you want to be. So, in this life, at this moment, at this time, it's time for you to no longer settle, no longer be the burden of sitting in the office, being away from your family, not getting the pay that you desire, not getting the pay that you know your skill set has for you to be paid what you think you should be paid. Now it's the time to work for you. Start with consistency. Start with a positive mindset. Start with God first at all times, and everything else will fall into place. If you enjoyed this message, consider subscribing to the channel. All love and positivity at all times. Follow those three things: God first, consistency, and scope out what it is that you want to do and do it one step at a time. Start your exit plan. Know that you are capable. Know that you can do it, and God will handle the rest.